Good morning, everyone. We're about to... Okay, let's try this again.
Check. There we go.
Good morning, everyone. I like that. Could you guys all move up a little bit? We're about to start with our opening ceremony, and I want you all to see our participants, so come on closer. I also want you to hear. If you don't hear me right now, come on closer.
Good morning, Howard County.
Good morning.
My name is Haley Klein. I'm your walk chair this year, and I am absolutely honored to welcome you to the 2019 Howard County Out of the Darkness Walk. By showing up today, you are sending the message that mental health is as real as physical health. You are sending the message that reaching out for help is the strong thing to do. You are showing others that the issue of suicide cannot and will not be kept in the darkness. Suicide is a health issue that affects all of us. By joining us here, you are not just walking alongside those you see beside you today. You are also united with hundreds of thousands of people who are walking to fight suicide in all 50 states. Together, we have created a national movement. As a community, we know we have so much work to do, as suicide continues to be a leading cause of death in this country. And while we are deeply saddened with each loss of life, it serves to further our conviction that we must continue our work and keep fighting for a day when no one will die by suicide. Thanks to you, we remain hopeful. Hopeful because more people than ever before are getting involved and are speaking out about how suicide has affected their lives. Hopeful about a future fueled by your support, which allows us to increase our investment in research, education programs, support for those affected by suicide, and advocacy.
Thank you, Haley. My name is Kat Albrecht. I'm the Maryland and Delaware Air Director for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And I just want to start by thanking you guys for coming out today. It is not a given that you're here today, so thank you so much for being here. I want to thank Haley for organizing this walk for the third year. I also want to thank LaShonda, Peter, everybody who helped today, all the volunteers that came out today. I really appreciate your time and your support to help us raise awareness for mental health and suicide prevention. AFSP is the largest private funder of suicide and suicide prevention research. So that is our goal, finding out how we can prevent suicide, also how to do postvention, because this is important. We educate our community about what are the warning signs, how to reach out to somebody, how to have a conversation about mental health. This is something we're not accustomed to. This is something we have to learn, but this is what we're here for. We come to your community, to your school, to your church, to your business, and educate people about all these signs, how to reach out to somebody. But we also advocate once a year in Annapolis and Washington, D.C., and we have a support system for people who have already been affected by suicide. So one thing is the Out of the Darkness walks, where you can find other people. So try to connect today. We're all wearing our honor beads. I forgot mine downstairs. But these symbolize what we've been through. So just look around and find the same colors. You can identify with each other and be more kind to each other, understand what this other person is going through. Try to connect with others today. We also have a program that is called Healing Conversations, and that's what it is. So you can request a visit or a call from us. Actually, a volunteer that also had a loss to suicide will give you a call or will show up at your door, and they will share their story of healing. So if you had a loss of a sibling, for example, we send somebody also had a loss of a sibling. They will show you the resources they used, the healing process that they went through, but also just to be there for you, to give you hope, because there's always hope. So whether you struggle today with your mental health, if you support somebody struggling, or if you already lost somebody to suicide, please know that there's hope and that you're not alone. Thank you.
That speaker does not like me. So as Kat mentioned, we wear honor beads at our walks, and each of us has our own stories and our own reasons for being here. As we gather today, we remember those reasons, and we share a symbol to keep them in our sight and in our hearts. Our honor beads pay tribute to a loved one lost, a personal struggle, or a victory. They come in many colors, representing the diversity of our community's connections to this cause. It's my honor to introduce to you some of the extraordinary people who are part of our community. Becca wears purple beads to symbolize the loss of a relative or friend. She has supported a number of people struggling with suicide and mental illness. This includes a friend who is an Army veteran, a friend in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community, and 2 in her eco-friendly moms group. She also became friends with someone whose name is Harbor, who she met through work and through a soccer field team. Thank you. And they became instant friends. And unfortunately, she lost Harbor to suicide, which led her to her advocacy with AFSP. Becca is here because she knows that mental illness does not discriminate. Becca goes to great lengths to support her friends with mental illness and acts for them in love in all ways that she can. Sheriff's Deputy Kurt Wall wasn't able to stand up here with us today. He is actually an active member of our police force who is serving the community right now, so he wasn't able to stand up here with us, but he wears silver beads to symbolize the loss of a first responder or military member. First responders generally see and hear the worst of human behavior. First responders are sometimes used as a sounding board for many folks' problems. When the public dials 911, they expect a calm and confident first responder on the other side of the line. A day in the life of a first responder can cover a wide spectrum of emotions, and Deputy Wall would like to remind every first responder to take care of themselves mentally and physically. I'd also like to thank the Howard County Police Department, who's been here with us all morning. Monica wears red beads to signify the loss of a spouse. Monica's husband, Chuck, died by suicide on January 18th. He was 59 years old. Chuck has 3 children, Lindsay, Matt, and Madison, and 2 grandchildren, Liam and Emmett. Monica and her family decided to walk this year to honor his life and make mental health awareness a priority. Shannon wears gold beads to symbolize the loss of a parent. Shannon is fortunate to have a lot of parental figures in her life. One very special person is her late mother-in-law, Becky. She accepted Shannon for all of her flaws and imperfections. No matter what, Becky was there for her. She had a laugh that was contagious and made you smile, no matter how bad your day was. Shannon and her family lost Becky to suicide on April 22nd. Becky suffered with severe anxiety over the last year before her death and also struggled with addiction. She suffered from diabetes type 1 and was having a lot of troubles controlling her sugar level. Shannon's family all did the best they could to help her, but she turned to drugs and alcohol instead and hid it well up until the last 2 months of her life. She is missed dearly by her family, who still don't know quite how to deal with her loss. They have their good days and their bad days. The world lost a beautiful, kind, spirited, selfless, and loving woman. And now she's watching from above, making sure Shannon and her family live life to the fullest. Becca wears orange beads to symbolize the loss of a sibling. This October, marks 5 years since her brother Ruslan died by suicide, who was also my cousin. She never thought that he would leave so suddenly. They were adopted together from Kazakhstan when they were toddlers. They moved to Ohio and spent their teenage years playing sports, laughing, and singing songs together. Because they were so close in age, he often showed her a side of himself that he didn't show to other people. But never did she imagine that he would leave this world so suddenly. She wishes that he could be here right now. Becca has learned that you don't ever know how much of an impact you have on everyone you meet. If Ruslan was here today, he would realize how much he mattered and how much he was loved. He will always be in her heart. Sorry, thanks for bearing with me. Vilma wears white beads to symbolize the loss of a child. On September 13th, 2017, Vilma lost her 31-year-old daughter, Jessica. Jessie's infectious smile and laughter lit up a room as soon as she walked through the door. Her sense of humor and her sense of adventure made for special times with her. The love for her family, especially her mom, brother, and niece, were beyond measure. Although she struggled with depression and addiction, she was able to find enjoyment in trying new things and being with her family. Jessie is so very much loved and missed every day, and to honor her, Vilma and her family are open about her daughter's struggles with mental health and her suicide, in hopes of being able to help those who walk in this struggle. Melissa wears green beads to symbolize a personal struggle. Melissa was very good at hiding her depression. Her family and friends knew she had been through a lot in life, but she always told them she was okay. She would be okay. In October 2014, after many years of struggling and dealing with suicidal thoughts, she attempted suicide. After her attempt, she finally sought treatment. She started relying on her faith, and she found support groups. She started sharing her story because she knew how terrifying it can be to battle your own mind every day. She is here today to honor those who have lost their battle and to remind herself and others that life is worth living. There is a way out of the darkness. Joy wears teal beads to represent friends and family of those with mental health conditions. This is Joy's fourth walk with AFSP. 12 years ago, Joy's 60-year-old mother-in-law died by suicide, just days after Thanksgiving. Joy and her husband had just announced that they were expecting again, but their son would never get to meet his mom. Then, 9 years ago, Joy's friend Sean took his life at only 30 years old. His mom's later involvement with AFSP inspired Joy to join our advocacy. Just recently, Joy and members of her Dare to Be team have started a nonprofit called Life of Joy Foundation to foster a holistic approach to mental health. Through a collaborative network of resources, community outreach events, and cost assistance programs, their mission is to serve as a link to integrative healing of mind, body, and spirit. Together, they aim to shine an even brighter light in the darkness and to help those who struggle build a sustainable life of joy. Mary wears blue beads because she supports the cause. Suicide awareness has become a huge part of her life. It is more than losing her son to suicide. She has connected with other grieving moms and has realized that suicide knows no boundaries. It doesn't matter if you are male or female. There are no age limits. Suicide does not discriminate by race or socioeconomic level. It takes our sons, our daughters, our parents, our spouses, and our friends. It takes the quiet ones as well as our brave. It takes those who are caregivers as well as those who struggle with mental health, whether they are in uniform or not. Sometimes there are warnings, and other times there are none. Mary wears blue beads because this epidemic needs to be stopped. These beads, these courageous people, they represent our love, our dedication, our commitment, and our strength as a community. We are united in our goal and determined to bring suicide prevention out of the darkness and save lives. By walking with us, you honor the memory of loved ones we've lost. By walking with us, you are letting everyone who struggles know that they are not alone. We're so thankful to have them here with us in this fight. Thank you, guys. Everything AFSP is doing is a direct result of your willingness and your dedication to getting involved. Together, we are creating real and lasting change, and it's thanks to you. As many of you know, active duty military, veterans, and first responders are at particular risk for suicide. It is estimated that 22 per day lose their life to suicide. To recognize their unique struggles and sacrifice, we invite you to join us after the walk in kicking off a 22-day push-up challenge to show our service heroes that they are not alone. We will gather after the walk near the orange-roofed pagoda at the bottom of the hill here. So please feel free to join in or just cheer on those participating in the challenge. We hope that your walk today is meaningful. Please keep in mind that you can always be the light. We also want to remind you that this event can be emotionally exhausting, and we want you to take extra good care of yourself and others. Hope you guys have a great walk today. We'll see you at the end. Oh, and if you haven't been with us before, we're gonna head out this way.